Somebody welcome in Sooners on SI. Ryan Chapman, Carson Field here from Lincoln Financial Field. And it was a very mature business trip for the Oklahoma Sooners. 42-3 the final over Temple. Oklahoma comes out, Carson, points on their first 4 offensive drives. There seemed to be no hiccups despite the fact no Michael Fasusi at left tackle. John Mateer in this offense was off and running from the jump.
They really were, and it was all facets of the game. The line was good, even with some injuries. The running game, this was probably the best the running back room has looked throughout the first 3 games. Mateer obviously looked really good. We even saw a Jaron Kanik 2-point conversion throw to Jacob Ulrich. That was something, but it was just easy. It looked really effortless for the offense early in the game. Obviously, they kind of slowed things down in the second half, but that didn't stop John Mateer having a 50-plus yard run. Torrey Blaylock still doing his thing. Xavier Robinson finding pay dirt. It was just a very complete offensive effort, which is ultimately what this team wanted. Venables praised the Temple defense out of the week, said it's really good. If it is really good, it didn't show against the Sooners. So just a heck of an effort. I want to hear about the defense, though. Obviously, you being in the press box, having a better look at things. Temple couldn't do much.
Yeah, you look at it, Temple's first 5 drives of the game, they had 1 first down. The line of scrimmage, it absolutely cratered immediately, and it felt like, again, much like last week against the Michigan offense, very, very physical. This Temple offense, not that, but the only points they get on the board came off a John Mateer interception. We'll break that down in the postgame podcast you can find at OklahomaSoonersOnSI.com as soon as we're done with this bad boy. But yeah, you look at it, and Samuel Mosigo got in there, 3 tip passes, one of them in the end zone right behind us. Oklahoma didn't get the safety. Grayson Holland almost was able to lay out. You got Kendall Dolby back in the lineup today. That was huge. He played a ton of corner for OU, and he said basically like, hey, a little bit of time to get my feet underneath me, but that thing was something that we felt good about going, and it just felt like, again, Carson, it didn't matter who they threw out there, linebackers, defensive line, it was just smothering, and it feels like, hey, it's hard to have emotional letdowns defensively when you're winning the line of scrimmage like Oklahoma did. Only bad part, though, R. Mason Thomas did get hit with the targeting in the second half. 10:03 left in the third quarter. That means he will miss the first half against Auburn unless Oklahoma is successful with their appeal on that flag. We saw that last week with Michigan and Jason Barham. They didn't win that one, obviously. Something that I assume Oklahoma probably not going to be optimistic of there. But a bunch of guys get on the action. Reggie Powers, his first sack of his career. Wyatt Gilmore got in on that. So good news there. Back on the offense real quick, though, Carson. I think this is maybe the best sign. We talked about the running game and what that needs to be for Oklahoma. Well, Torrey Blaylock had the 18-yard touchdown run. That was the second longest run for an OU back at the time, or the second longest rush for OU at the time early in the first half. Longest for a running back. He then got a 25-yarder. That was OU's longest rush of the year until Mateer's 51-yarder immediately after that. And so basically it's everything you wanted there. I think the biggest thing going into Auburn is going to be get Fasusi back, 1. 2, how do you deal with R. Mason Thomas? And then Keontez Lewis took a shot, which I know there's a lot of Oklahoma fans going to be like, how is the R. Mason Thomas a targeting and the Keontez Lewis not?
Right.
I have no idea, honestly.
No, it's one of those things no one really knows. Mateer said he's fine, quote, but you never know what that means. That's a quarterback. He's not going to give too much up. Venables obviously didn't know too much about the situation after the game, but very unfortunate on that interception that Lewis took the hit that he did. Could be a big loss if he is out for extended time.
Yeah, it was smothering for Oklahoma. You talk about over 400 yards of offense for the Sooners. Temple, they finished with, let's see what the final tally was, 104 total yards, 515 to 104 with no turnovers for Oklahoma. They, again, go negative in the turnover category. It's not seemed to matter. Brent Biddle said mature, and that this defense, they have so much fun, it looks like recess. I think that's certainly really, really good signs for Oklahoma as they return back to take on Auburn. That's going to do it for the stand-up on the field. We're going to head up, we're going to write a bunch, but we'll have plenty more as Carson and I hit everything you need to hear on the the Sooners on SI, post-game pod, recapping everything from this dominant Oklahoma victory over Temple. And a quick shout-out, 27,000 fans here. At least you will have a better look than me. It felt like Oklahoma, if they didn't outnumber Temple fans, they got damn near close. The sideline behind us was full of crimson and cream, which is pretty cool to see, knowing that Oklahoma does not make the trek up to the Northeast too often.
No, it was very cool to see. And I'm colorblind, so I can't really decipher cherry and crimson. But I saw more OU logos than Temple logos, I think. Just a really good travel turnout for a game that I don't think many of us thought was going to be particularly close, but props to the Sooner fans for really coming out here.
Big time indeed. 3-0, open SEC next SEC play against Auburn next week in what should be a top 25 matchup. I haven't seen if Auburn's even on the field yet. It's been so weird.
They beat South Alabama.
Okay, they beat. I didn't know if that was an early kick or not. I was watching Georgia Tech and Clemson, go Jackets, all that fun stuff. So we will recap everything here from Lincoln Financial Field, like we said, back in the post-game pod. Look for that Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and obviously on the website, OklahomaSoonersOnSI.com. For Carson, I'm Ryan Chapman. We'll talk to you guys like an hour on the pod. We'll see you.